Hello, everyone. I'd like to take the time to welcome you to ASSA ABLOY's virtual instructor-led training presentation today, Hands-Free Opening Solutions, Part 2, Electrical Mechanical. I will be your virtual instructor today. My name is Guy Robinson. During this class, if you have any questions, I would ask that you just type your question into the question and answer. And when I get to a point, I will stop and answer the question. Or you can always email me at guy.robinson@assaabloy.com if you think of anything after the presentation is over with. Within 24 hours of the ending of this presentation, you will get an email saying that you attended the presentation. You can use this as a CEU for an hour for attending a presentation. Now, let's get started. At the end of today's class, I hope each attendee will be able to recognize the different types of electromechanical touchless products, understand the need for touchless products, classify the type of touchless product by category, evaluate the necessity of each product, and compose a recommendation for different openings. First of all, we all pretty much know why that the interest in touchless products has come about within the last year and a half. We've had a virus that is transmitted by people leaving their germs in different places. Now, and we are about to reopen again. Many places have reopened. Some have been reopened for some months, some the whole time, some are just coming about. But our goal is to prevent the spread of the COVID virus and other germs. Not just that, but there are many germs that can make a person sick. So the reason why we want to evaluate touchless openings is when we're doing this reopening time is we want to ensure the health and well-being of employees and visitors. We always, with everything we want to do, whether it's touchless reopening, whether it's code compliance, whether it's master key and everything, we always want to balance convenience and security. That is what we're doing. Sometimes codes do override that, so we always want to maintain strict code compliance. Now, I put this in the mechanical portion because this presentation really is just going to deal with electromechanical for the most part. We want to make sure that any hardware on the door in a high touch area is kept clean. And we want to be able to clean and disinfect at least daily per CDC guidelines that will reduce the risk of exposure to bacteria and viruses. We ask that you clean with soap and water. You use a disinfectant, an EPA approved disinfectant. You can use diluted bleach solutions, or 70% alcohol solutions. Avoid the bleach, however, because that can leave a stain, that can actually stain the hardware. Now, one of the main ways to decrease the spread of germs is to reduce the touch points on each opening, or the best method is to eliminate the touch points. However, eliminating the touch points is much more expensive than reducing the touch points. Everyone has a budget. Not everyone can have a fully automated door that somebody walks up and it just magically opens without touching a thing. However, that is available. We will cover it, but following individuals' budgets, there's a number of things we can do. We can put door hardware that reduces the touch points in high traffic areas, such as restrooms, entrances, or exits. And to even reduce the touch points greater, we can retrofit many of the doors, which we're going to cover, to hands-free without replacing the entire opening. You can add arm or foot pull to non-latching doors. You can replace existing levers with paddle trim, and you can add a wave to open switch to existing operators. One thing this class does is it concentrates totally on the electromechanical devices. Electromagnets, the electromagnetic door holder. This is in case you need a hold open on a fire-rated door, and it will keep the door held open while the device is powered, because you cannot keep a fire-rated opening held open mechanically, because that would require somebody walking up to shut the door in case of a fire. You need the door to automatically close in case of a fire. An electromagnet will hold the door open in case of a fire with a mechanical closer on the door. When the power is cut, the magnet releases the door and the door shuts. Another item is the Norton 7200 series electromechanical door holders. Now, these are used on fire-rated doors, not just by Norton, but I'm going to tell you other manufacturers. When mounting a magnet is not an available option. Sometimes you just have nowhere to mount the magnet. They're really not allowed to be put on floors anymore because of ADA. So in the case that you need doors held open, you can get an electromechanical device that is tied to the fire alarm system or has smoke and heat sensors in them that if it senses a fire or the fire alarm is pulled, the door will shut. These are available by Norton, Corbin Russwin, and Sargent. The next item to reduce touch points, not eliminate them, but to reduce the touch points, is to use the Norton Safe Zone. This is a mechanical closer with a built-in infrared sensor that will keep the door open as long as there is individuals going through the opening. This reduces the need for keep touching the door as individuals walk through it. I'm going to show a short video on the next slide.
In healthcare and educational buildings, providing a safe and secure environment is the #1 concern for facility managers, security officers, and building owners. Many times, something as simple as moving through a door opening can pose a problem for people who are mobility challenged, moving equipment, or just moving slowly. Enter Assa Abloy's Safe Zone by Norton, the latest innovation in door control designed to provide safe passage through the door openings in your facility. How does it work? This smart door closer has a built-in motion sensor that sees movement in the opening and holds the door open, closing only when motion is no longer detected. A Safe Zone equipped door opening now becomes a zone of safety, reducing the chance that someone will get hit by the door and providing those who need it more time to safely get through the opening. Groups of people and equipment can also move easily through the opening, since Safe Zone holds the door open until everyone and everything is safely through. Other benefits of using Safe Zone include reducing the potential for damage to the door or frame from carts and wheelchairs, fewer door opening cycles, thus increasing the life of the opening, and the possibility of the door being propped open is reduced, increasing security and energy efficiency at the facility. Assa Abloy Safe Zone by Norton, an innovative product from the global leader in door opening solutions.
Okay. I just showed you the electromechanical solutions to reduce touch points, but as you could see, it doesn't eliminate the touch points. Now we're going to cover items that eliminate touch points at a door. And this is fully automated touchless openings. Now, first thing you see is the low energy operator. This is a requirement for a touchless opening. You cannot achieve a touchless opening without an auto operator, either either low energy or full energy. Next, on most openings, you're going to want to have the door latched so it is secured, or it may be a fire rated opening. You will need a locking or latching method, and that can be achieved by a exit device, an electric strike, or a mag lock. The third item you will need is a method to open the door. You are able to do that with a reader, push button RF technology, infrared reader on the front, or a wave to open switch. We're going to cover these items. First, I want to talk about one of the main requirements, and that is an automatic operator. Norton makes the automatic operators for every application. There isn't one automatic operator that will do the job. If they did, we would only make one. However, we make 5. So let's just start. And I will go through the auto operators from low use, low dollar amount, all the way to a higher dollar amount. Here is our list of auto operators. Now, the 5600 series is our least expensive auto operator. This is an electromechanical operator. This operator can be controlled by radio frequency switches and wall switches. However, this is only electromechanical. Without power, this operator does not work. So this cannot be used on a fire rated door, because if the fire rating goes out, the door will not operate. This is a low cost, excellent choice for non-fire rated doors, such as bathrooms. Traveling a little bit up the security continuum, we go up to the next is the Norton 5700 series. This is an electric hydraulic auto operator that uses a motor which is attached to a Norton 1604 closer. The operator is rated for fire rated doors because if the power fails, the hydraulic closer will take over and make sure the door shuts and latches. Next up, when deciding what operator to use on a door, is the Norton 5800 series. When there is obstruction on the frame or challenging conditions to running wires, the Norton 5800 series may be the solution. The closer can use regenerative power to open the door, which means if the door is operated manually 80% of the time, the battery builds up power to work 20% of the time. The closer mounts to the door and the arm mounts to a small portion of the frame. This makes the 5800 series an excellent choice for openings that have an obstruction around the frame of the door. Our next solution, it's our heaviest duty solution, is the Norton 6000 series. This is also an electro-hydraulic closer that the motor is attached to a Norton 7800 series architectural grade 1 door closer. Like I said, doors that are fire rated are used of over 500 opening cycles a day, you should go up to this closer. This operator has many built-in features such as push and go, obstruction detection, infinite hold open, and like all of our other auto operators, has a built-in power supply. As long as you're not going over 1.3 amps of power that's being drawn, you can use the onboard power supply of the Norton 6000. However, this operator does require a clearance of 4 inches above the door. Our newest and most advanced model of auto operator is the Norton 6300. This is a completely electrical-mechanical auto operator and is adjusted with onboard LCD programming or using your Wi-Fi smart device such as your phone. Meaning, if I'm installing a number of them, I can walk by with my phone instead of climbing up and adjusting every single one. I can just put the adjustment one time in my phone and speak to each device or one device and program the device from my phone. The 6300, like all the other ones, have a built-in power supply, integrates with access control devices very easily. The great thing about the 6300 is you only need 2 inches of clearance above the door to mount the device. Now, before we move on, I quickly went through all of our auto operators. It behooves you to learn more about our operators, and my teammates give an excellent class on the Norton auto operators with our VILT classes. You can always go on asaabloyacademy.com to view presentations on the auto operators. And coming very soon, we will be gearing up and giving auto operator installation classes at our training facilities throughout the country. So just keep looking. So I suggest that you build your knowledge of auto operators so you'll be able to choose the correct one for the opening that you're going to be making touchless. Now, I want to just go with a couple of codes before we move on that affect openings, since you're going to be replacing items. In ADA, and for ADA openings and egress openings, devices that you put on the door have got to be installed between 34 and 48 inches above the finished floor. On an ADA opening, you have a minimum clear 10-inch from the finished floor on the push side, meaning I cannot install anything on the push side of the door 10 inches up from the finished floor. However, I can put a foot pole on the pull side of the door. There are codes that affect fire rated doors, and that's why we went over the electromechanical hold opens and the electromagnetic hold opens, because fire rated doors have got to positively latch. That's why there's no mechanical dogging on an electric strike. On an exit device, because if it was mechanically dogged down, in case of a fire, the door would not latch. So the door has to be automatically self-closing, which means no mechanical hold open on fire rated doors. So our automatic closing has to be tied to the fire alarm, or it's got to be power operated, and the closing, it has got to close in case of a fire or loss of power. Now, like I said, our automated devices for opening the door and closing the door, or one thing, that's required. However, when a door has to latch for either fire code or security, you've got to provide, if you have a mortise lock on the door or a cylindrical lock on the door, you've got to provide a way to keep the door latched. And one of those ways is through electric strikes. And when we talk about electric strikes come in two methods. They come in fail safe, which means on the loss of power, the keeper is free and does not provide locking or positive latching. Fail secure means on loss of power, the keeper is rigid and provides locking and positive latching. On fire-rated openings, only fail secure is allowed. So our electric strikes, they enable the remote locking and unlocking of a door. So with a rim exit device, cylindrical lock, or mortise lock, with or without a deadbolt. They easily integrate into the automatic operator, and we make them available for all types of frames, including low profile, outdoor rated, aluminum and glass, heavy duty strikes. We make a variety of strikes, recessed or surface mounted. Please, we give an electric strike class. We give numerous ones to explain the different electric strikes. We may have electric strikes by 3 of our companies: Adams Wright, Folger Adam, HES. We have a lot of material that explains where each electric strike is used. Motorized electric latch retraction. Just like with the electric strike, because we don't have electric latch retraction on cylindrical locks, we don't have electric latch retraction on mortise locks, we don't have electric latch retraction where when we apply power, the latch is actually pulled back. On mechanical exit devices, you can use an electric strike in the place. You must use an electric strike if you're going to integrate it with an automatic operator. However, when you can, a motorized electric latch retraction exit device is preferable. The exit devices can be electrified to have the latch retracted upon signaling, either from a switch, wave 2 switch, or once a signal is sent to the automatic operator, this will delay the operator for a second to pull the latch back on the exit device. We have these are motorized exit devices. They work off less than 1 amp of power, so you can actually use the onboard power supply that comes with the automatic operator. And they're available in Corbin Russwin, Sargent, Yale, and Adams Wright. We do make service kits. And as you can see, with the Corbin Russwin or Yale, that is our MELR series devices, which stands for mechanical electric latch retraction. Right here, if it has a long pin and it was manufactured after April 2015, you can buy an update kit. If it has the long pin like shown, you cannot, if it has the short pin, you cannot buy an update kit, and you have got to replace the whole latch head so it can be upgraded to the MELR. With Sargent, if you're ordering a new exit device, you would order the M56- series. Sargent options are a prefix. Or if you're going to replace it, you're going to order the M56- ELR motor kit. And as you can see, the exit devices with a notched nose and tail were manufactured prior to 2007. And these require the R56 kit because the whole push rail must be replaced. If the device was made after 2007, then you can just get the M56 ELR motor kit to install. It's a very easy installation, and we do have video showing how to install the kits on asaabloyacademy.com. So if you see the notch, you must replace the whole rail with the R56 kit. If there is no notch where it's pointing, you are able to just add the 56-ELR kit. Here's just another view. The R56 kits, you can see where they have the pivot points. Now, prior to 1995, the mounting rails as well, the push rails contain visible pins. In 1995, the mounting rail was redesigned to eliminate the pivot pins. The image on the lower left shows a rail assembly manufactured prior to 1995 with visible pins. This type of exit device cannot be upgraded, so you will have to replace the device. The image of the lower right is a device manufactured after 1995. You can see the mounting rail no longer contains a visible pivot pin. This version of the exit device can be upgraded with an R56 kit. Mag locks. They're ideal for high traffic applications because there's no moving parts to wear or break. Another great thing about mag locks is they make glass. We have glass door mounting kits for them. This is just another way to secure the door. And with mag locks, especially with, as you can see, this is a Herculite glass door, tall glass door. This would present a challenge using electric strikes or electrified exit devices. Sometimes you're going to have to use a mag lock. However, when using a mag lock, keep in mind, you must make sure that local fire codes are checked to make sure that you're allowed to use the mag lock on that particular opening. Well, we covered the locking methods, albeit briefly. However, the last thing, after we automatically shut the door, after we automatically latch the door or keep the door latched, you're going to need a way to open the door without touching the door. So the next few slides, I'm going to show you the different types of contactless readers, remote radio frequency, remote controls, wave to open, or motion sensors. A remote control door operation. You can open and close the door with the press of a button. This is ideal for reception area, executive office, conference rooms, nurse's station, security desk. No one has to touch the door. All you have to do is walk up and press the button on the radio frequency handheld device, and the door will initiate, send a signal to the automatic operator, as you can see mounted at the top of the door, and that will automatically open the door. We also have, if you don't want to carry around a radio frequency, we have the wave to open switch. This completely eliminates touch points. It's on the wall. The young lady's walking through the door. She waves her hand. You see the operator at the top. The door is automatically open. She has not had to touch anything. For a closer view, you can see that the nurse or doctor or medical technician is walking through the opening. She waves her hand in front of the opening. The automatic door opens, completely removes touch points from the opening. You can use the Securitron WSS Wave Sense or the Alarm Controls NTS-1 No Touch for this operation. If you're coming out of the door and not from the locking side of the door, you're able to use the motion sensors, which is the Securitron XMS or the Alarm Controls SREX 100. And for wireless transmitters and receivers, you can use the Alarm Controls RT1 or RT3. Now, there's another method to come in. This is all from the unsecured side of the opening that people are leaving. They're not coming in. If you have to have a secured opening and you need somebody to present a credential and you don't want them to touch the door, there's other methods. And one of those other methods is a reader at the door. Now, this is first generation proximity. There's no encryption. They have a proximity card. The card gets close to the reader. The reader energizes the card. The card sends over the binary number. The binary number goes to the controller and a decision is made. Yes, you can come in. No, you cannot come in. However, if you're installing a new system or in need of upgrading, proximity should never be used like this because the first generation proximity cards are not secure. They sell $28 devices on Amazon that can read your information because all they have to do is get close to you and grab the information off your card. Because if you can get close enough to energize the card will spit the binary code out, and it's easy enough to just copy to a new form, whether a fob or another card. So a good method to upgrade openings, especially that's still on proximity, would be to use the 4th generation COS software-based credential technology. I give a whole class on credentials that goes into a deep explanation on this. You may want to take it the next time I give the class on credentials. However, this is not tied to the underlying hardware chip. The modern credentials require an independence from the underlying hardware chip. So you can use phones, cards, wearables, and other form factors. And these are interchangeably and authentic, completely trusted credentials, the most secure credentialing in the marketplace. This does not require you to touch anything at the opening. Now, the next slides we're going to go through is we're just going to go through some real life scenarios. What would we do? Well, if we were going to an aluminum storefront door, remember what's required? We need an automatic operator. As you can see, the Norton 5800 series is perfect for this. Next, we would need a way to release the exit device on the door. If it's not electrified with electric latch attraction, we can use the ESH 9800 series. And we have another choice that if it doesn't have an electric an exit device, we can put the Norton 4300 series Steelhawk. If you notice on the Norton 4300 Steelhawk, it's not handed. The Steelhawk will fit in any opening that was prepped for the 1850 deadbolt or the 4700 or 4900 series latches from Adams Right. This is a very easy installation. And now you have a method to send a signal and have the door automatically open. Another method, if I'm going to walk out the door and I don't want to touch it, is the Securetron XMS infrared reader that will pick up my movement. I can also use the Securetron WSS hand wave or the alarm controls NTS-1. I do not have to touch anything to send a signal to have the door open. On the outside, I can have my card reader where I just use my cell phone to wave in front of the reader and have the door automatically open. Abracadabra. Now, showed you devices of Electric Strike, Steelhawk electrified device. However, there are other options to latch this door because this would not be a fire-rated opening. You could also use the Securetron M680 series maglock. These are decorative maglocks installed at the top of the door that will secure the door. The M680 series has a built-in LED to let you know that it's locked. Has the built-in request to exit, or like I just showed you, the built-in SMS that will pick you up when you're walking up to the door from the inside to automatically release the exit, to release the maglock and allow you to leave. Also has a built-in camera that coaxially can hook up to your monitor for color or black and white. Another thing is, one of the drawbacks to maglocks of the past was that they were not pretty. They were big, blocky, bulky. Now they are highly stylish and come in many different finishes for it to make it very decorative at the opening. So when it's all said and done, we have our door operator, Electric Strike, can have an exit device, wave to open switch, motion sensor. Now, the one thing that we would need with the 5800 series is we need a method to power the door. The other automatic operators come with built-in power supplies. So in this case, we would need to add the Securetron AQL series switching power supply to power up all the items at the door. As another example, if we've got either cross corridor doors, we have exit doors. You've seen this on a number of buildings. First thing we want to do is make sure that we have the proper hinges on the door. Heavy duty four ball bearing hinges. These are an excellent choice to make sure the door operates smoothly. What is required? The first thing that is required, you see it at the top, is the automatic operator. In this case, because of the weight of the door and high usage, the Norton 6000 was chosen. This is an electro-hydraulic auto operator that also has a built-in 1.3 amp power supply to supply power to the electrified options, securing the opening and signaling the operator. There is the hydraulic closer and the motor attached to it. Now, For this particular type of opening, the 6000 double door operator was chosen. This is just two single 6000 series operators installed on two interlocking backing plates. The sleek, streamlined cover, as you see pictured above it, provides an aesthetically pleasing look. Next, motorized electric latch retraction. This enables remote lock and unlock of a door with an exit device. We discussed the retrofit rail kits available for existing mechanical devices, so you always want to check that option first. These will be powered by the standard power supply, or you're able to use the onboard power supply from each operator except the 5800 series. They're available in Corbin Russwin, Sargent, Yale, and Adams Wright. The MELR, which stands for Mechanical Electric Latch Retraction, secure the door and are code compliant with life safety and ADA. Or you have another choice. You are able to secure the door with electric strikes. In this case, the HES 9600 Pullman style bolt device, or for square bolt devices, I would use the 9600 on the Pullman style latch, the HES 9700 for square bolt devices such as found on Corbin Russwin and Yale. The 9700 series has the notch for the square bolt device. Okay, concerning the inside of the door, there are two types. If you want wave to open switches that you can wave your hand in front of the to open the door. The WSS, the wave to open switch, or the alarm controls. On the outside of the door, you can put the card reader and use your CO's credentialing to come in from the lock side of the opening. Now, let's take a look and see what we did. We have our door operator, electric latch retraction exit devices, wave to open switch. We can have our contactless readers on the outside. We're good to go. But just in case we need a little bit of a backup, we can put the touchless pulls from Rockwood on the outside of the door. Now, we did all we can to either eliminate or reduce the touch points on that opening. I would like to cover one item, and that is intelligent keys. This drastically reduces the touch points at openings when individuals want to have access control installed. You do not need wiring to install intelligent keys. This will give you keys with multiple schedules. It'll leave audit trail in every cylinder. You can upload the audit trail to the cloud, and the audit trail will never go away. The thing about it is there's no wires run to the cylinders. So one technician can come out and install these in the doors with very little trouble, and you only had one person there instead of a team of individuals installing your access control. Another feature of the intelligent key programming is the Bluetooth keys. You do not have to go make contact with administrators or anyone else in the office to reprogram your keys. This can all be done by you pairing the key with your phone and accessing in the cloud from your phone and updating your keys. This all reduces or eliminates touch points and contacts with individuals in the office place. I give a full presentation in classes on the intelligent keys. If you would like to learn intelligent keys, if you would like to learn more about them, please feel free to check that out on assaabloyacademy.com. This is the end of our presentation. I would like to thank everybody for attending today. I know your time is valuable, and I hope that you will attend our classes that we have coming up. Thank you very much.